What's up, everybody? Ben here with Bravo Zulu Hardwoods, and today I'm going to go over some flooring terminology. In the past couple of years, a lot of new products have come out. A lot of old products have been reinvented, and there's a lot of words that people have been putting together incorrectly when selling or working on this stuff, and it probably can seem overwhelming. I'm going to kind of demystify all of that and give you the breakdown on at least the most popular, most common flooring options used. That way, you can have a better idea of what you're doing if you're going to buy it, having somebody work on, whatever. So let's get to it. All right, so I've got laid out here just a few of the most common common materials used in hard surfaces for flooring. And a hard surface is, well, exactly that, anything that isn't soft. So, pretty much everything but carpet. Now, so here is your hardwood, your standard 3/4 inch solid hardwood. All right, and it's solid because it's cut out of one piece of wood and milled down. You've got the groove on this side, the tongue on this side. Those two things lock together like that, and it gets nailed in the front here. That's what holds it all down. On wider ones, it gets glue assisted, so a strip of glue goes back here and it gets nailed in the front, keep it from lifting up in the back. This is not to be confused with engineered flooring, which is completely different. Now, solid flooring can be either site finished or pre-finished. Or whenever people refer to pre-finished or unfinished, that's what it means. Is this can come with either finish on it from a factory or with no finish on it, and it gets put in and that gets applied after the fact. All right, so those are that. This is technically an engineered flooring. It's listed as an engineered flooring when you buy it, but it's not truly an engineered because, so you can see here, you have this very, very, very top layer. It's very thin. That's actual oak. It's real wood. It's genuine thin veneer of oak, but that's all the thicker it is. Cannot be refinished, cannot be sanded. So you put a sandpaper to this, it's going right through it. This middle here is like a fiberboard, like an MDF type substrate deal. And it is, I'll show you here. It is not very, see, it just flakes apart. And if it gets wet, it turns about 3 times this size. Just swells completely up and it destroys whatever. The whole thing gets ruined. So this cannot be wet. Now you have this very bottom layer, which this is again a thin piece of Luan stuck to the fiberboard to give it some extra rigidity. So that's technically how it could be called an engineered floor, which I'll explain that more in a little bit. But basically this is, I would call it an engineered laminate. Don't buy this. This is not good flooring. It does not hold up well. Because I don't have a piece of actual engineered flooring here, I'm going to demonstrate what engineered is using this piece of plywood, because that's essentially what it is. If you're familiar with how plywood is made, it is different layers of wood, reversing direction or alternating direction in perpendicular pattern for however many ply it is. So this is a 5-ply piece of 1/2 inch plywood or 5/8. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers, and on an engineered floor, it's basically the same thing, but these are all different species to mitigate warping, so that it can be used in below grade, wider boards without it, cupping and warping and stuff. And on an engineered hardwood, this top layer would be the hardwood of choice. Now sometimes that's a lot thicker. It'd be priced maybe almost 3 of these layers, and those floors can be refinished and resanded just like a normal hardwood floor. They've got the same level sanding layer, and many engineered floors are high quality, really straight. There are some really junk ones too. There's some stuff that's thinner than this, or thin as this, and it can't be refinished. Don't buy that either. That stuff's junk. All right, so this is what they would call VCT, so vinyl composite tile, which is essentially a layer of vinyl. It's hard to see because it's so thin, but it's a layer of vinyl and some plastic composite components in the middle to make it flexible. This stuff is, there are some decent ratings of this, and it's good for commercial settings, like, you know, anywhere where there's high traffic or things being rolled across, because this stuff has to be, this is the self-sticky stuff, so don't buy this either. Don't put this in your house. This don't. But this is for if like the glue down stuff wouldn't have a sticky backing on it. It's just, you know, a piece of vinyl like this, and you know, they spread the glue and put it down, and it works a lot better for applications like that. Now it does have to be really flat though, but you know, that's for a different video. I will get into that. This is LVP, which is luxury vinyl plank. And this is where people get confused, because, like, you know, you got sales guys out there, they're going, oh, luxury laminate vinyl tile. Yeah, it's not what this stuff's called. Not at all. So this is luxury vinyl plank, or LVP. Okay, you have here, and it's harder to see. I can get a better view on this side. All right, so now this is really thin stuff. They make thicker, but this is a thinner variant. This top layer here is vinyl, which is what gives the flooring its durability and scratch resistance, because vinyl is both of those things, durable and scratch resistant, whenever it's glued to something hard underneath of it. You have your composite, rigid core composite, which is, you know, a bunch of plastic and stuff that people smarter than me make. And then you have your backing underneath, which is just a little bit of foam, and it's for, you know, to kind of takes out any bounce or helps with any, you know, tiny imperfections in the subfloor, as well as, you know, keeps it quiet, keeps it from making a bunch of noise when you walk on it. And it goes together very similar to the laminate, but a lot of these locking mechanisms are better. That's the wrong way. And it just goes in here, and it goes, and I shouldn't have broke that like that. No, I can't get it together. Ugh. I'm about to bend this back. There we go. And those go together like that. And you know, most of these products, they have a pretty solid locking mechanism. This isn't going to fall apart unless it's installed improperly. And the floor is not flat, which I stress, this floor has to be flat. The subfloor needs to be flat when you put this stuff in, because if not, it will fall apart, and I don't care what warranty they offer, they won't cover it if it wasn't installed properly. So don't put it on uneven floor. So that's the basics when it comes to flooring terms, I suppose. All right, thanks for watching, and check out our page for more useful content.